Okay, welcome back to Table Talk and Tumbleweeds. We are discussing the Lord of the Rings, and if you have not already, please subscribe, make comments. Those are always useful and helpful. We are discussing the Lord of the Rings. We are up to book 3, chapter, was it 5 or 6?
1 through 4 is what we're doing. More
yes. Okay, so up to the arrival of the Ents, and we talked about the Ents a little bit before, and so now we're going back a little bit because we want to talk about the breaking up of the fellowship, right? And that's where Sam, after Frodo, after this interaction with Boromir, is like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can stay here. He sees what the ring is doing to people. He knows that this ring will destroy them one by one by one, and so he wants to take the ring away. And in both the book and the movie, he tries to sneak away in the boat, and Sam comes after him. And in both the book and the movie, Sam almost drowns because he can't swim. So
and he's terrified of the water.
And he's
in the
terrified
book,
of the
he
water.
is abjectly terrified of the water. When he gets into the boat, it's the worst experience in his life.
Yes,
and yet he runs out into the water to go find Frodo.
And that is Sam. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of things that are going on in this, and I think that the first is you have this sense of Sam choosing loyalty.
Yes.
Right, and that is Sam. Sam is loyal. Sam is trustworthy. That is what he does.
Sam is stout-hearted.
He is stout-hearted, and this in some ways, like his moment going there, and again the contrast with Boromir, right? That Boromir is like, I want the ring in order to control the outcome. Right, yes. I can use this power for good. Said every evil genius ever. I can use this power for good. But Sam chooses, and in one way you could say that he chooses presence over power.
Yes.
Right, and we talked a little bit about the Ents, and really thinking about the patience of the Ents, and the natural world, and taking time, and not rushing. And I think there's a lot to be said for connecting that to an idea of God's power. Right, God's power is not coercive power. God, Dorothee Soelle, and no one needs to look her up, but I'll put the name down there. I think it was Dorothee Soelle, which is power with. God doesn't eliminate suffering. God suffers with us, right? And there is that very Lenten aspect to that, the suffering God.
Yes.
Right, that we have Jesus on the cross,
and so that's where God's presence is most obviously felt, is in those moments where we think, my God, why have you forsaken me? We're getting way ahead of ourselves. But that's the place where God is most present within theology of the cross.
Yes.
And so when Sam chooses, I'm going to suffer with him.
I'm going to suffer with him.
I don't know where this is going. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be in his presence. I'm going to be with him while this happens. That's the Christ-like figure of Sam.
Yes, and I'm not going to force you to do one thing or another. I am just going, and if you choose poorly, then we choose poorly together. I'm going to go along with you. And that's kind of a little bit, there's an echo there of the decision that's made at the council, right? That we're not going to use this ring to lord power over the world. We are going to send this little fellowship off together to try to, choosing fellowship over force, if I may alliterate for a moment. And again, that's that's an example of I think divine love, sort of a Christ-like presence.
Yeah.
And so I think there is something really, we've been talking a lot about patience this time, and I think to me there's an echo in that. So the word patience in the New Testament, and I have it written down here, and I'm probably going to pronounce it, the Hypomone.
Yes.
Which is translated as patience, and it means, it means to stay put. That's the literal translation, and it's often translated as patience, but it has a much more. Patience sounds more passive than this word is, right? It's also sometimes translated as endurance, sometimes translated as perseverance, and it's not passive waiting, right? It's determination under pressure. Right, it is tenacity, loyalty, and hopefulness in the face of suffering. Right, which is Sam. Right, so Sam, in some sense, is exhibiting a type of patience, because you can sort of say, Frodo, what are you doing? You talk about this, back in Rivendell.
Yeah.
When Frodo says, "I'll take the ring," and you can just imagine Sam going,
"Okay, we're done. We were supposed to be going home.
We're going home. I'm so excited. And what are you doing? Okay. I'll go with you, right? This is that patience, that tenacity, that steadfastness, right? Undeterred by difficulty and suffering, it's persistence.
Yes.
Right? So,
and it's persistence that does not give up because things get hard.
Right.
Things get too painful. Things get not the way I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very different sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we think of patience as, oh, I have to wait in line. How will I keep from being bored?
Yeah.
Right? And we can't, so we all have our phones with us, we can get on there right away, I'm very patient when I have my little video games to play. So you have this sort of, this is this different kind of patience. It is active, it's strength, right? Boromir thinks that patience is weakness.
Yeah.
Right? And patience is strength. And I think there's a sense in which you can see in the development of Sam over the course of these 3 volumes and 6 books. Patience doesn't come from strength. Strength comes from patience,
Yes.
right? It's that, and I think this is the Catholicism in Tolkien, right?
Yeah.
That we practice our way, step by step, becoming more patient. You fake it till you make it, right? If I'm not a patient person, I am going to practice patience, practice endurance, practice loyalty until that becomes who I am.
Yeah.
And now I think it's already who Sam is, but he does grow into that.
Yes, and I think that discipline of building patience, where you actually sit and do things that help you to build patience, because impatience is treacherous.
Yes.
Is a very, very difficult thing, and none of us want to do it.
Yes.
Is there a way I can build patience quickly?
Yeah. Instant patience.
I will say.
Just add water.
At one point, college into seminary, patience is a very big struggle of mine. And somebody suggested one of the things you do is you build origami cranes, build 1,000 origami cranes.
Yeah, no.
And the part of the process is that if you just end up with a smushed ball. And so you have to be very patient, very precise, do it all the way through. And you learn very quickly. If you're impatient, it falls to pieces.
I don't need an origami cranes. I just update my software.
So that's passive again. That's passive watching.
No, because when you update your software, every little thing that you do, you have to refold it. So
this is active patience, where you are actually doing something, not just sitting and waiting for something to happen while you tap on your fingers.
Yeah, this is not boredom.
Yeah, and I will say that this Menos in the Hypomone, Menos is, I'm pretty sure, the same one from John's Gospel when they ask, where do you dwell?
Monet, to stay.
Yeah, it's the same one.
So there's this sense of we don't think of Sam as being patient, but that's what he's doing in this instant, is that sort of steadfast accompanying, well, if you're going to go, I'm going to go too.
Yeah, and Frodo says, I'm going alone.
I'm going alone, not without me.
Me too.
Yeah, you are. Me too. So that patience becomes this, patience then is a kind of communal enduring,
Yes.
right? And again, this is in contrast to Boromir, and I think it's worthwhile to maybe bring Aragorn back in one more time, because you have this further contrast with the patience of the impatience of Boromir and Aragorn. Both in the movie and in the book, it's a little bit different. They discover that Sam and Frodo have gone off, and that Merry and Pippin have been captured, and so they've gone off in different directions. So what shall we do? Because in the movie, they're like, standing on the shore, and Legolas says, "Oh, there they are. We have to go," and he's ready to act. Right? Yeah. We have to go. We have to catch up with them. And Aragorn says, "No." It's like instantaneous. Aragorn says, "No, we can't leave Merry and Pippin to the orcs. They are on their way, and we'll let them go." But in the book,
Gimli says, it's our choice to take the remaining boat and follow Frodo, or follow the orcs on foot. There's little hope either way. We've lost precious hours.
Right, so there is that pressure, the same pressure that Boromir fears.
And Aragorn's immediate response is, let me think.
Now I may make a right choice and change the evil fate of this unhappy day. And
he stood silent for a moment. He actually sits and patiently thinks, what are we going to do? But then he doesn't stop with thought. He then goes into action.
Yes, and he says, okay, this is what I've decided. We are not going to leave them to the fate. And there's a kind of flip side of the coin to the steadfast action. The patience of Sam that goes with Frodo is the patience of Aragorn to say, I'm going to let Frodo go. Yeah. Right? And it's the patience and trust, right? I am willing to see how that is going to play out. I don't have to be in the middle of it. We are going to play another part now. We are going, and so they go off, hell bent for leather, yeah. Right? We're traveling light.
We figured out what we're going to do, but we now have to do it.
I used to run with my dog, and I used to always imagine myself running with the 3 of them across the... Sorry. Let's keep going, Fergus. We can do this. So he lets, he lets them go. There's kind of patience. There's kind of steadfastness in that, and then goes after the other one. But I think that the part that really Aragorn is also a man of action. And Boromir recognizes that in the scene where he's talking about, oh, give the ring to a man of action. What could Aragorn do with it? Or me, So he recognized, but Aragorn is a different kind of man of action, maybe because he's king, right? Or blood of kings, but because he stops and he thinks. And I think this is something that's really striking to me in talking about this, is that, thought without action, and I'm Team Boromir here, thought without action is just useless. It's just sitting around saying, one day I should do this, I should do this. It's just thought, it's thinking, it's academics, right?
Which we're very comfortable in.
I'm very comfortable with academia, but there's also a sense, and this was especially true for people studying theology, it's like sitting around and thinking about, all this stuff that we should be doing, and I think that, this is what's important to me in congregational piety, the congregational polity, which is that, our faith has to be within action. It's not that we don't think about what we believe, but when we think about what we believe, it's translated into action. So belief, thought, without action is kind of empty and useless, just in the same way that action without thought is reckless and dangerous. So you have an Aragorn in this moment. No, wait, we have time to think about this.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Okay, I've thought about it, let's do this, right? And so there is action there, but it's thoughtful.
I was looking for the James text because I thought that was in here, but it's a different James text about faith without action is dead.
Yeah, faith without works.
Faith without works.
I know I'm not supposed to say that word. So there is that sense, and I think we really can't leave this scene without Aragorn's moment with Boromir.
Yeah.
And here is the part where I really, really, really like the movie better than the book. Because in the book, it's like, Boromir's like, I tried to take it, now I'm paying for it.
Dead.
Go save Gondor.
Yeah. It's much more touching in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie, there is this more moment of grace.
Yes.
Right? In which Aragorn is like, this, it's okay. Frodo got away, everything's going to be fine. Gondor will survive without you. With everything in my body, I will do it. But also there is that forgiveness.
You are forgiven, and kisses him on the forehead.
Kisses him on the forehead, buries him with honors. And I think that what's grace and forgiveness, I think there's a little bit about that in Lent. But also what he assures Boromir is, you are not the worst 3 minutes of your life.
Yeah.
Right? We know you're more than that. Right, and so there is that. Sorry, this could be cut out, but I'm just, can you imagine just like the internet filming that happen, and then it's all over online, and everyone's like, Boromir's horrible. We should kill him, dox him, terrible person, right?
Cancel him.
Cancel Boromir.
Yeah.
Right. Instead, you have Aragorn saying, even though what Boromir has done is terrible, right? His impulsive action, his failure. Not sin, but failure, his flaw, has, as far as they can tell, destroyed all hope. And yet Aragorn says, I'm going to keep hoping.
Yeah.
But then he says, it's okay. Frodo's fine. You're okay. This is not who you are. Yeah. And I think that is probably.
Well, I think there is down here the one thing that matters is that Hebrews text that's in this page.
Okay.
Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. And let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some is in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. And all the more as you see the day approaching. That patience is sustained through mutual fellowship and encouragement.
Yes.
And that fellowship survives even their separation, because the commitment endures despite the distance. And that they are going to do what they need to do for each other, because even if the fellowship is apart, the fellowship still exists.
And I think that kind of encapsulates the movie moment between Aragorn and Boromir. Hope is not lost.
Yeah.
And you are more than this. There's that encouragement even up until the end.